You're listening to the Mermaid Podcast here on WPOD-FM, Mermaid Radio. I'm Gary Guppy, and we hope you enjoy today's program.
Welcome to the Mermaid Podcast, where we dive deep into the magical world of mermaiding and all things aquatic. I'm your host, Sierra Mermaid, and these are my co-hosts, Mer Ashira, and the merman who will make your green bean casserole disappear before you know it, Merman Nathaniel.
Whether you're a seasoned performer, hobbyist, or curious adventure seeker, this is the place for you. We'll be highlighting our fantastic community and what we're all about, making magic and living out our best mermaid dream.
Today, we'll be discussing the season of gratitude and sharing some mermaidy recipes. So grab your tails and get ready to make a splash. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Blue Sky at The Mermaid Podcast, and join the pod on Discord to connect with our community, linked in the description. If you like what you do, please consider donating to our coffee to help us continue the podcast. Let's dive in.
Happy Thanksgiving, fishies! Today, we will be going over things that revolve around just being grateful for the lives that we lead, the oceans that we swim in as mermaids, all of the above, throughout multiple angles. We're going to be looking at some nostalgia, we're going to be cooking up some recipes, and we're going to be doing a bit of a community discussion as well.
I'm excited.
Yes, we had so many suggestions, and I'm so excited to dive into these recipes. But first, we have to get into Thanksgiving, and even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just like the general feeling of reflectiveness and, just thinking about what you're grateful for as we get into this season of where the leaves are shifting, it's getting a little bit colder.
Which does stink for the fishies like myself in an area like upstate New York, because that means mermaid season is closed. But there's
Come on, it's not that bad up here.
Oh, it is in my area.
If you want to freeze your tail off.
I've already froze my tail off. My hands are already dry. I'm not having a good time in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, but, there's also, the trees are turning a nice shade of, brown and orange up here. All the farms are doing these, pumpkin you got, pumpkin patches up here.
Yeah. The mermaid in me is very sad, but I split my time pretty evenly between mermaiding and ghost hunting. So this is prime time when the leaves are changing for my ghost hunting busy season. I just finished, just a few days ago, a 2-day event for a fundraiser for a state park. So yeah,
wow.
So it keeps, I'm busy no matter what, but the mermaid in me is very sad that it's cold.
She lives a double
I know.
life.
Who will I be tonight? Who knows?
Yeah.
I think this season is a really good time to just get nostalgic about family traditions and our favorite foods, childhood memories, smells, and even though we can't go out and swim and be free in nature and wear our tails and make new memories that way, there's a ton of time to just sit with the people that we love, even our pod mates, our family, our pod mates, and just think about how comforting it all is that we have what we have. So when you guys think of Thanksgiving nostalgia, what memory comes to mind? What swims to the surface for you?
By far, my number one thing was the kids' table.
Yeah. Funny how that tends to be a tradition among families. Just one table where the little rascals can just go about and do their business. Yeah.
Oh yeah. As a kid, that was the goal in life was to make it to the adult table. And by the time I got there, my grandmother, who always held Thanksgiving, she had dissolved the kids' table. It was a free-for-all. So it was Grandma, I feel betrayed right now. The ultimate betrayal. But we still all have a good time. I just didn't get to gain the experience, the triumph of finally getting to the adult table.
The kids' table will leave you.
Yes. My family actually, we never did a kids' table. We're more of the kind of family that, like, you grab your plate and you either stand around eating or you go sit on the couch to watch the game.
The game.
We were a couch Thanksgiving family.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, which does kind of lead into the next thing. You know, everybody's always got the game on during Thanksgiving. It's always like a running tradition. Especially in my family are like big into like the New England Patriots. Like every single game they gotta watch on TV. My grandpa. Do you guys have like a grandparent that has like a dedicated chair that they want nobody else to sit in?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's another like weird family tradition there. Mine does as well. You know, he has a chair like sat squarely in front of the TV where he'll just like read the newspaper, and especially during Thanksgiving he'll have the game on, and of course all the other guys are there with like beers and sodas. Moxie, oh my god, Moxie.
And there's always one guy that fell asleep like 20 minutes after the game started, snoring away.
It's the turkey.
You know what? It's hard to fall asleep. Yeah, it's hard to fall asleep after eating that much.
Well, hard not to fall asleep.
Yeah,
it's hard not to fall asleep.
I was gonna say, maybe for you, but...
No, it's hard not to fall asleep. See, I'm already about to fall asleep just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Apparently there's some chemical in turkey that, like, legit makes you sleepy. I feel like I've read that somewhere.
Shut up.
No, it is true.
Ain't no way.
No, it is true. It is true.
Oh my gosh.
That's why everyone's, like, always so insanely tired afterwards. But yeah,
what a thought.
Anybody who's from New England probably knows, like, what the heck Moxie is. For those of you who don't, it's like if you took Coca-Cola and just like dropped a bar of soap in it. It is not a very good soda, and I'll drink it if I'm offered, but I'll literally take anything else. But my uncle brings that stuff to the family. What's the word I'm looking for? The gathering, like every single year.
Get together.
Yeah.
The shindig.
The commune.
The hootenanny. That might be a little too southern.
Careful, your southern is showing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I know. Yeah, I think for me also, I'm really big into baking. So every Thanksgiving, I try to like outdo myself from the last year, whether that's like making a new pie or like doing decorated cupcakes or pumpkin spice cookies. Just, I really like to use like fall flavors in like dishes, you know. I like to make pumpkin spice cupcakes or apple cinnamon, you know, just like anything that smells like it just came off the orchard.
I'm going to Ash's
That does sound really
Thanksgiving
good.
this year.
It's all sweets, trust me.
Oh, brilliant.
Even the sweet potato casserole. Marshmallows on top, the whole 9 yards.
Say less, I'm in.
That actually brings up another point, like family recipes as well. Like my grandma, she makes an absolutely killer green bean casserole. We were talking about this just before we started recording, but my grandma makes a really, really good green bean casserole. And that was like the one dish I always look forward to every year whenever I went up to Thanksgiving. What about you guys?
I have a funny story. So my grandma has always made like gravy and stuff, and we always called it like grandma's gravy, right? And you put it on the turkey, put it on the ham, we're a turkey and ham family on Thanksgiving.
Right.
We do both. But you put it on the mashed potatoes, and it was like grandma's gravy. I found out when I finally got old enough to start helping in the kitchen and not be in the way, I found out that grandma's gravy recipe is just like the powdered gravy that you get at Walmart, and she just adds more salt to it.
Hey, now that is a betrayal. That's worse than the kids' table. But good for her. She had you guys fooled.
Well, I don't even think it was her. Like, because I talked to her after I found that out, and she was like, yeah, they just started calling it my gravy, and I've been trying to tell them, like, because, you know, she's been sick or whatever, like, she hasn't been able to make it to some holidays, especially during COVID, and so everyone's like, oh, we're not gonna have grandma's gravy, and she's sitting there talking to me, and she's like, I tried to tell them that it's just the packaged gravy, but, like, they wouldn't listen to me.
Like, no, it's not, because it doesn't have grandma's love attached.
I guess so, and so now that's the running joke after, like, that came to light, that it's only different because it's got grandma's love
Exactly.
in
It reminds me a little bit of this gag they had in, I think it was like a Garfield Christmas special or whatever, where like John's grandma is talking to Garfield about like how she prepares Christmas dinner or whatever, and then she gets to like the cranberry and she tells Garfield to like look away, and she just like pops open a can of cranberry and just plops it down and just acts like she made it.
I completely get it. The one thing that
Yeah.
my grandma makes every year, and she really does make it, I've seen the process, she makes a homemade stuffing. I'm a sucker for some stuffing. And it is so good.
I do like a good stuffing, yeah.
I didn't get on stuffing until a couple years ago. I don't know. I think it was like the name of it like freaked
You were
me
so
out.
late to the game. It is the best part of Thanksgiving.
I know. No, trust me. Trust. I like ate half a pan of stuffing
I mean,
last year.
And not blame you.
You said yourself, you're a gravy family. You know, you could have just like mixed it in with gravy
Oh
a
my
little
God,
bit.
I
That's
always
actually not
do.
that bad.
That is so good.
That is true. You can put gravy on anything on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. You're listening to WPOD FM Mermaid Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. This Thanksgiving, bring the human tradition to your home at High Sea Grocery. Shop our international aisle for all kinds of human delicacies, including coleslaw cake and canned turkey. Taste the authentic human cuisine. Oh no.
Thanksgiving starts at High Sea Grocery. The best rates from our shelves to your plates.
I can taste the stench in my mouth.
Look at all those young folks with their Wi-Fis and their GameCubes. I wish I could feel that young again.
Now you can.
Huh?
New from the makers of Aquafresh comes an energy drink chemically engineered for the elderly.
Are you my grandson?
Try Red Sea Energy. Red Sea Energy has all the stuff needed to get geriatric old farts such as yourself the jumpstart you desperately need. And each can packs so much vitamin C inside that, quite frankly, it should be illegal. Here, try some.
Oh, I feel my bones vibrating.
Whoa! That old geezer just scored a three-pointer! Hey, mister, can I have some of that weird juice?
Beat it, nerd!
Aw, man, you sound just like my dad.
Red Sea Energy. Part the waves. Available now wherever drinks are sold.
Speaking
Yes,
of recipes, we had quite a few recipes going around in our podcast chat that I think are well worth sharing.
Yes, we did. We did. I think all of these recipes are something that would be perfect for you guys to bring to your pods, like Podsgiving gathering, which if you're not doing, you guys should do because it is so fun. It's like Friendsgiving, but with all your mermaid friends. So even though you guys can't swim outside together, unless you have like an indoor pool, you guys can still get together and eat a lot of food. I can go ahead and start us off with a little appetizer. This one is a recipe inspired by The Little Mermaid, which is just perfect for all of your Podsgiving gatherings. This is by twogeekswhoeat.com. The intersection of food and pop culture, which I think is great. That's a great idea. So they say, when we were asked to create a recipe for the Walt Disney Signature Collection release of The Little Mermaid, we had to say yes. We are challenged to create a recipe that combined the storytelling and thematics of the film without using seafood. So this is going to be perfect if you're not a huge fan of eating fish on Thanksgiving, which I know is a little bit of a controversial thing, especially if you're not on the coast. But the result that they've come up with is goat cheese seashell bites. And we'll have a picture up for you guys so you can see exactly what those look like.
They look really good.
They're
Absolutely.
so cute. They're so adorable. Little bite-sized seashells that I think they perfectly evoke the Little Mermaid.
I think they would be great
So-
for a little snack tray for when everybody's watching the game.
Mhm.
Yes, a little like pre-Thanksgiving dinner snack. All right, so these goat cheese seashell bites, prep time is 20 minutes. This recipe serves 15 seashell bites. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to have to double
Absolutely.
that. Just for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But cook time only takes 5 minutes because really all you're doing is heating up the little pastry seashell things. So total time, it just whipped together in under 30 minutes. This actually they came up with this to celebrate the 30th anniversary of The Little Mermaid. So for ingredients, very, very short, you'll need 2 packages of phyllo shells, 30 shells total, and those are those shells that you see there. It's just a special type of like flaky dough, basically. 8 ounces of goat cheese and 1 teaspoon herbes de Provence, which, let me look that up real quick because I don't quite know what that is. Here we go. It's a traditional blend of dried herbs, typically containing a mix of rosemary, thyme, marjoram, and oregano. And it has a fragrant, savory, and slightly sweet flavor profile. So that sounds absolutely delicious. I'm going to have to eat something after we finish recording. So in terms of instructions, you're going to combine the goat cheese and all the herbs in a bowl, and you want to make sure they're well combined. Refrigerate for an hour to let the herbs soften. You don't want anything crunchy in your goat cheese. Bake the phyllo shells per the package instructions, and then once they are out of the oven, just allow the shells to cool. You're going to take the goat cheese mixture, roll it into small balls, and then place 1 phyllo shell onto another to create the seashell appearance. So that you might have to end up like kind of cupping them a little bit. I think from the picture it shows them kind of like one laying flat and then one stuck in sideways. And then once you add the little pearl of goat cheese, it kind of holds it all together. And then you just serve them. So that's a super easy, if your ovens are all tied up and you don't really have room to make a really super complicated appetizer, that could be a perfect one for you to bring to your Thanksgiving function.
Absolutely. It sounded so
Interesting.
good.
They sound, you know, I like I said earlier, these sound like perfect, like pre-dinner kind of appetizers, or when people are like watching the game. This sounds really good.
Well, I have a little drink that we can serve with our appetizers. This is one that I've made a little bit different, but my 3 main ingredients for this mocktail would be a mix of Sprite, Blue Hawaiian Punch, and pineapple juice. Now, the thing is you can use just like the little 20-ounce bottle of Sprite to mix this in if you just want to make servings for 1 or 2. Or you could go all out and do like a whole 2-liter, and really everything is to taste. I know I like a lot more pineapple juice than maybe somebody else would, but I also say that you have to put a little gummy shark in your glass. He's got to swim in the ocean.
Yes, you need
Very
a gummy
cute.
shark. That's a
Yes,
necessity.
that's
Now, what
one
did
of my
you call
favorites.
this drink again?
What was that?
What did you call this drink again?
I call this my mermaid mocktail. It used to be the mermaid cocktail.
Mermaid mocktail.
But that is not appropriate for all ages.
And if you want it to be a mermaid cocktail, you know what you gotta do.
Malibu.
Malibu. That sounds delicious and super refreshing. I am a big fan of pineapple juice. I'm a big fan of pineapple juice mixed with cranberry juice, which kind of gets me into this next pre-dinner dish of spicy cranberry shrimp. So these, as you can see on the video for our viewers, these are plated beautifully. We got some shrimp that have been marinated in this cranberry, spicy soy sauce kind of type marinade, and they've got it garnished with limes and whole cranberries. But cranberries are just such a classic Thanksgiving dish, and I think having this like oceany, seafoody spin on cranberries could make a great appetizer. I know lots of people tend to do like shrimp cocktail, just like the one you pick up at Walmart, but this is a way to plus it up. So the recipe, which is by agratefulmeal.com and is linked in the description, it says that they used leftover cranberry sauce and put a little spice in it, and that the cranberry sauce will last in the fridge for 10 to 14 days. But I think you could easily just make some extra cranberry sauce and serve this on Thanksgiving. for our recipe, prep time, we've got about 2 hours. I think that's accounting for the marinating in the fridge. So this might be one that you cook ahead of time, but the actual cook time is only 15 minutes. So maybe if you whip it together the night before, it'll be ready for the next day on the day of the get-together. So for our ingredients, you're going to need half a cup plus another 4 tablespoons of cranberry sauce, jellied or whole berries, you decide, 1 jalapeno, seeded and diced, 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger, peeled and minced, or you can substitute that for 1 teaspoon of dried ginger, 3 garlic cloves that have been minced, zest of 1 lime, 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of low-sodium soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 1 pound of shrimp, peeled and deveined, that word bothers me, several skewers for grilling, soaked if you're using wood skewers, and extra lime wedges for serving. In terms of instructions, you're going to whisk together everything except the shrimp in a shallow dish. That's fairly easy because then all you gotta do is throw in your peeled and deveined shrimp into this mixture and marinate it for 1 to 2 hours in the refrigerator. You're gonna want to, when you're ready to cook it, you're gonna want to preheat a grill pan on top of a stovetop or an outdoor grill if you've got one on medium-high, and thread the shrimp onto skewers. Grill them 2 to 3 minutes per side or until the shrimp is cooked through. When you're done, you're going to slide them off the skewers, brush with the remaining 4 tablespoons of cranberry sauce, and serve. And you're going to serve it with lime wedges, and of course, you can use the whole berry cranberry sauce for that extra kick of tartness in your bites of shrimp.
So yummy.
Yes, it sounds delicious. I'm not a big seafood person, but
And it
that does
sounds
sound good.
like pretty easy compared to what, when you had shared the idea, I was like, man, that would probably take forever. But no, that's not bad.
It's just the marinating. You just gotta bake in that extra time in your food prep in order to allow the flavors to really soak into your dish.
Yum.
Speaking of shrimp, we've also got a squid ink pasta and garlic shrimp recipe by Megan. That's it. The website.
Just Megan?
Yeah, the website just says Megan.
We should
I have
know
no
who
idea
Megan
who Megan is.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Megan.
Queen.
Whoever you are.
Yes, thank you, Megan. The recipe calls for 1 pound of squid ink pasta and kosher salt. Hopefully not 1 pound of kosher salt. Oh my god.
Maybe
Listen,
to taste.
Us Patsy girls need a lot of salt, okay?
But for the shrimp, we've got 1.5 pounds of large shrimp, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 8 to 10 cloves of garlic, half teaspoon of red pepper flakes, half a cup of dry white wine, juice of 1 large lemon, half cup of fresh Italian parsley, and salt and freshly ground black pepper.
Amazing. That already
does,
sounds
doesn't it?
delicious. I'm into anything pasta, so
It definitely looks really good just from the photos itself. Like the photo looks really, really photogenic, like very like Michelin star restaurant-esque sort of dish. So first you'll want to prepare the ingredients. Slice the garlic, chop the parsley, juice the lemon, and ensure your shrimp are peeled, deveined, and patted dry. Deveined being Ash's favorite word.
word of the day. Yes. I'm shivering.
Cringe.
So
It's like moist.
yeah, moist. So next you'll want to cook the squid ink pasta by boiling a large pot of water, and then once it's boiling you'll want to generously salt it. The recipe says that it should taste like the sea, so make of that what you will. But afterwards you'll want to add the pasta in and cook according to the package. And before draining, you want to carefully reserve about 1.5 cups of starchy black pasta water. I guess it's crucial to the sauce.
Usually the starches in the pasta leach out into the water, and when you add it to the sauce, it's kind of used as like a thickener for it, so it's not just soup.
So while the pasta is cooking, you'll want to get a large skillet or saute pan and bring that to a medium heat. After that, add some olive oil and 2 tablespoons of the butter. And once that's melted and foaming, you'll want to add some sliced garlic and the red pepper flakes. And while that's cooking, you'll want to stir frequently for about 1 to 2 minutes until the garlic is fragrant and just beginning to turn a pale golden color. Afterwards, you'll want to increase the heat to a medium-high and add the shrimp onto the skillet, and then season them with a pinch of salt and black pepper. Cook those for another 1 to 2 minutes per side until they are pink and just beginning to curl. Nice, create the sauce. Next, you'll want to pour the dry white wine into the skillet and use a wooden spoon to scrape up any brown bits of garlic and flavor from the bottom of the pan. Afterwards, just let the wine simmer and reduce for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then reduce the heat onto low. Add the lemon juice and about 1 cup of reserved black pasta water to the skillet, and then bring to a gentle simmer. Add the remaining 2 tablespoons of butter and chopped parsley, swirling the pan until the butter has melted completely into the sauce. Afterwards, you'll want to taste the sauce and adjust with any salt and pepper as you see fit. Once the squid ink pasta is ready, you'll want to add it directly into the skillet with the sauce. And using a pair of tongs, you'll want to toss everything together gently, ensuring that every strand of pasta is coated in the sauce. If it seems a little too thick, you'll want to add another splash of the pasta water until it reaches your desired consistency. And then afterwards, you're set to go.
That sounds delicious.
I have it's almost similar, but instead of pasta, it's rice. I have a sushi bowl that I love to make. Me and my brother often make it when we have our little movie days, and it's so easy. It's only about 10 minutes, and super quick, super easy. The cook time does vary depending on what rice you use. If you're just throwing one of the bags of rice in the microwave, it's quicker. If you're actually using a rice cooker or cooking your rice on the stove, it'll take a little bit longer. But everything else is something that you can just pour right in the bowl. What I do for this recipe is normally I kind of shoot for a spicy tuna sushi roll bowl. That it's hard to spit out. So what I'll do is I'll cook my rice in whichever method I like or with whatever we have. Normally I like to use brown rice. It is kind of more of a standard for sushi rolls in any capacity to use brown rice. So go for that. Trust me, thank me later. And then into a bowl, you pour your rice, you drain a can of tuna, whichever your preferred is. Dump that in there as well. You can also chop up some cucumbers, some carrots, and you could even smash up a little bit of avocado if you'd like. That's a lot of things that you can add
love avocado.
Or take out, substitute. The great thing about these bowls is that it's something that you can just change with whatever you're feeling that day.
Nice.
So I also will always add in some sesame seeds as well. And for the sauce, which you don't need a lot of, but I load up on, it is super easy. Just a mix of mayonnaise, sriracha sauce, the original, and just a dash of soy sauce. Just a little dash. You can measure it all with your heart. It all depends on just how you're feeling. I make a lot more than you would probably need.
It's always good to have leftovers. Thanksgiving's all about leftovers.
Exactly.
I swear I'm living off of that meal for the next week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Turkey, gravy,
and
all
these
the
sushi
things.
bowls, you can serve them hot, you can serve them cold. And what me and my brother like to do is we will get seaweed from the store. Normally we'll just use the big wraps that you can get, and you can just scoop up the contents into a little piece of sushi and eat it like that, or you can use a fork or a spoon. But it's the mermaid way to wrap it in some seaweed.
Yeah,
That is the mermaid.
absolutely.
Wow, that sounds like perfect to bring to like a potluck.
Yes,
you know?
so quick, so easy, and you can make a lot in a really short amount of time.
It's so shareable.
Again, perfect pre-dinner snack food.
Exactly.
But that,
Now, what happens after dinner is my
Drum
question.
roll.
It's the best part.
everybody falls asleep.
No, okay. What happens after we wake up and we got something of a sweet tooth?
We take the long drive back home.
No! Nathaniel, we have
Salute,
dessert.
I ain't going home till I get some pie.
Ah, yes, that's right, dessert. And I've got quite the dessert recipe right here. This is from campfiremarshmallows.com, and it calls for a mermaid marshmallow pie.
That sounds
Wow.
amazing.
The first dish to have mermaid in the name.
Mermaid adjacent, and then finally for dessert we get the actual mermaid.
Just straight up.
We're eating a mermaid? That was last episode.
And no, the sirens
Oh,
were eating
yeah.
the mermaid, not us.
I don't want to live for 800 years.
Anyway, so the ingredients for this calls for 1.5 cups of graham cracker. We're leaving that in. 1.5 cups of graham crackers crumbs, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 6 tablespoons of butter melted, 4 regular campfire marshmallows. You don't want to go
That's
It
so
really is.
specific.
very, very specific.
What happens if you,
One, two-
like, go with 35? Is the world gonna end, or?
You die.
Best not chance it.
Then
You get turned into a mermaid.
if you go for 35, then the campfire marshmallow mascot will personally come to your house with a baseball bat and just like knock your kneecaps off. So
He'll
don't try
Kool-Aid
it.
man his way in and he'll get you.
I don't need my kneecaps anyway.
Anyway, 1/2 cup of cold whole milk, 1.5 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of sweetened shredded coconut, 10 maraschino cherries drained and sliced, 1.5 cups of mint fruity campfire marshmallows, and rainbow sprinkles. For direction,
Can't forget the rainbow sprinkles.
oh, of course, like, come on, you cannot have like something mermaid related unless it has some very flamboyant colors. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, for directions, you'll want to prepare a pie crust in a large bowl by combining the graham cracker crumbs and sugar. Then you'll want to add the butter and stir until it's all combined, and then press into a 9-inch pie plate and refrigerate for at least an hour. Then, in a large saucepan, you'll want to melt the regular marshmallows and milk over a low heat, and then stir it consistently until it is smooth. And you'll want to remove the pan from the heat and set aside to cool in room temperature. Afterwards, you'll want to use a electric mixer to whisk. Let me try that again. Afterwards, using a electric mixer with a whisk attachment, you'll want to beat the heavy cream on a high speed until it's stiff, and then use a rubber spatula to fold it in the marshmallow mixture until it is smooth and combined. Afterwards, you'll want to fold in the coconut and chopped maraschino cherries, and then
That sounds delicious.
and just garnish the pie with a few extra cherries and sprinkles, and just sprinkle some of the mini marshmallows on top, and you're done.
You know, when I saw this recipe, my first thought was, yes, this is perfect. But then my second thought was, what would it be like if we toasted the marshmallows on top?
Just a little
I
bit
think that
further,
would tie
yeah.
it all together.
Like
Take it that extra step.
yeah, the recipe obviously doesn't call for putting it in the oven, but I was kind of thinking the same thing. Just maybe like put it in the oven for not too long, but just enough
get
to
a
where
little-
like the marshmallows have like a nice like golden coat on them, you know?
That sounds so amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yes, that sounds so amazing. And it's also something that's so easy, especially if you don't have super great baking chops, because I know baking is kind of a science, but that's something that is going to be really hard for you to screw up. So,
Oh, yeah. The non-bakers will be grateful.
mhm. Well, if you guys make any of these recipes, please let us know. Please post them and tag us on Blue Sky at the Mermaid Podcast. We would love to share you creating these recipes, or if you have another recipe that you've created, whether it's mermaiding related or not, please tag us. We would love to share them and share your recipes, share any recipes you found. I think we all could just use some really good food this season.
The pod, but with a cookbook. We love that.
Yes. Now, we're going to go to commercial break, but for our next segment, we're going to have a little bit of a community discussion about what you guys are grateful for in the mer community, so stay tuned.
You're listening to WPOD FM Mermaid Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Just a few more jewels, and my Pluto Rayinator will spread oil through every crevice in the ocean.
Not if I can help it.
My Cousteau submarine, it's Splash Seal.
Time to spin these fins.
Curses! Foiled again by my arch nemesis, but I doubt you will do any better.
Do some loops, collect tubes, and kick major bad guy butt with a ton of awesome moves. Splash Seal in the Jewel of Atlantis. Only on PlayStation. Rated for everyone. Need a new cell phone? Poseidon Wireless has you covered. Our family plans can help you save money and get better benefits than our competitors. Starting as low as 40 shells a month. We'll even let you keep your old cell phone when you switch. Sign up today and we'll hook you up with a new Murex Digital for no extra charge. Poseidon Wireless, where the ocean meets your ear.
Welcome back. I am very excited and thankful for what we will be doing now, as we are going to be sharing the season of gratitude with all of you, and we will share the responses of those who got to participate in our forum on Blue Sky for this episode. And in the future, if you would like to be involved in any of these responses and have your response read by us on the Mermaid Podcast, follow us on Blue Sky, because we always post these forms there. First, I wanted to start with Diaphan. And Diaphan states that they are grateful for all of the merfolk that they have met along the way. They love the pod and the friends that they made in the pod, as mermaiding is truly so much more magical with other merfolk by your side to talk to share experience with, and they are so grateful for every mer in this community.
So sweet. I love shouting out the pod, our Discord server. It's truly just all the friendships that get made on there warms my heart.
It
Yes.
is such a safe, sweet place, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that you are all grateful for it. I just love to see it.
And this next one is from John Rawhauser, aka Cartoon John, who is a illustrator and writer from Oregon. And this is quite a lengthy one, so I'm just going to read it verbatim. And he wrote, I am thankful for finding such a diverse and inclusive community of people who are supportive of one another. I have met so many incredible people and inspiring artists and creators who all share the same love of self-expression, whether it's through art, writing, or actually wearing a tail. This year especially has been a very trying one for many of us, with the seemingly never-ending deluge of absurd and disheartening news, and many of our leaders working tirelessly to keep us fighting one another. In times like these, when it's easy to believe that you are alone, it is vital that you find the people who raise you up in a community that works together for a better and brighter tomorrow. No matter what storms may come our way, I believe that we can face them together. Thank you all.
Really
That's
is
so sweet. I think that message is absolutely
yes,
needed.
that wow, that really warmed my heart. Just almost speechless because that really was great. Thank you.
Yes.
That felt like something
And
I needed to
Cartoon
hear.
John, yes, that's something we all needed to hear. And Cartoon John is near and dear to the podcast because he actually did our episode art for our June episode, our Pride Mers episode. So I love that he's still here with the podcast.
Yes, as you can see, he is a great writer and a great illustrator. I think he showcases that super well, and I'm glad that the pod is able to give him a little bit of an extra voice.
Hey.
Next up, we have a submission from C. Bastiel, a dear friend of ours in the pod, who is listening from Iowa in the U.S. She writes, I'm so grateful to have met so many wonderful Mers, so many new friends, and I found a pod that, though many of us are miles apart, sticks together and comes to each other's aid when the need arises. It's a place I truly feel welcome and at home in, and I'm so glad to have met so many wonderful individuals.
I love seeing this sentiment being so far almost a pattern. I think it really goes to show the kindness that comes from our community. I'm very proud.
Yes, very proud to be a part of this community.
This next one comes from Ruby, who is actually listening all the way from Poland. And Ruby stated that they are grateful for the friendships that I've encountered on the pod Discord server. I've been very lonely all my life, and friendship eventually became something strange to me. But people on this server are absolutely helping me get used to this. Also, for how normal and civilized and reasonable all of the people there are, and how the staff keeps the server super clean.
I'm glad we have listeners from all the way over in Europe. That's so awesome.
Absolutely. And I am so glad that you were able to find friendship in our pod, that you feel welcomed. I'm just so glad that you finally found your place, Ruby. Truly.
This one comes from Via Vid from Kentucky, and she writes, my friend Ash, hey, that's you, Ash, who got me into this in the first place. I'm not super involved in the mer world, but I love the sense of community it brings. I'm thankful to Ashira for bringing me into this community.
Aw, I'm thankful for you, Via. I'm so glad you found a place, no matter how big or small, in the mer community.
We are very, very grateful for you, Ashira, because if not for you, we wouldn't have the Discord, we wouldn't have the pod. So, round of applause that you cannot hear. But we love you.
Well, what can I say? I'm a workaholic.
We know.
Alright, and last but not least, from Anonymous, listening from who knows where. I'm really grateful for the pod Discord server. I have spent the last 3 years in and out of the hospital and have felt so lonely, but finding the server has really helped me. Everyone is so nice, helpful, including, and just great.
We are so sorry to hear about your health struggles. I understand. Myself, chronically ill, peeps, you know. It really is such a lovely place for community, and I hope that you feel better soon and are healing, and I'm so glad that you found community.
Yes, we're so glad to have you here.
I guess that leads into our final part. What would you say you guys are thankful for?
Oh man, I got the question turned
I
around
know.
on me. In terms of the mer community, I'm just super grateful for all of the artists that have allowed this community to flourish. I am not the artistic type. I'm definitely more of the clientele that is paying these artists for tales, for art, for jewelry, for accessories. I just think this community is built on the backs of artists and their creative flow, and I'm so grateful for them, for all the beautiful tale designs, for all of the beautiful artwork, the movies, the animations, just everything that makes the mer community go round.
I 100% feel you there. I truly am grateful for the community that this crazy, kooky, fun hobby has brought. Grateful to everybody who submitted responses and had me tearing up a little bit there. But outside of that, I also have to say, overall, I think community is just like a broad thing. it's so hard nowadays, especially with the rise of the internet, to truly find a community at times. But I feel like the mermaiding community as a whole has done such a good job of really honing in and reminding each other that we're more than a username on a screen, and that we all deserve that care and respect. I think that it's just something I'm very grateful for, and glad that it's the season of gratitude, because it just gives me an extra reason to say thank you to all of you. But Nate, it's your turn. We're turning the questions around on you. What are you thankful for?
Oh man, where do I even start? I mean, when I first joined the mermaid community back in high school, I didn't really know like what I was getting myself into, but when I started talking to people on Mer Network back in those days, I suddenly just kind of felt like I belonged there, you know? I might have shared this sentiment in a prior episode. If I have, please feel free to let me know, but I'm just, when Mer Network kind of went the way of, whatever analogy, when Ash opened up the pod, it really did just bring back like those old Mer Network days, especially when we really like started getting the ball rolling and we like updated it to what we have nowadays. And it's just great to have a place where I feel like I can just like come in and just meet friendly faces every single day. It's funny actually when we submitted that thing asking people for what they were thankful for, we never really specified like what are you thankful for in the pod specifically, but yet as we've read, like most of the answers have consistently mentioned the pod as a server, and it just feels amazing, not just being a part of the community, but feeling like I played a part in building it up. It feels amazing knowing that I'm part of something that feels bigger than just myself. Like I feel like a local celebrity, like in this community now. At least the one that we've built up, and it just feels amazing knowing that I can just like go into the server any time of the day and just say hi, and I'm met with at least like 3 or 4 other people just enthusiastically saying hi back. And even if I'm on my worst days, that is a comfort that I am very grateful to have in my life.
I completely agree with you. It really is such a positive community, and I completely agree with all of you.
Like if it was not for this server, if it wasn't for this community that we've built, I don't think I would have been able to do a lot of the stuff that I was able to do. I wouldn't have met my best friend Chico. I wouldn't have like read his webcomic. I wouldn't have encouraged him to like, keep working on it. I wouldn't have been able to collaborate on with that. I wouldn't have gone to Mermagic. I wouldn't have gone to Mermagic with Sierra.
Honestly, we would have not even met if not for the pod, and we live 3 hours away from each other.
Yeah,
that is so crazy to me.
And I wouldn't have been a part of this podcast either. And just thinking back on that, it's just it's so crazy to think like how all this stuff just sort of dominoed.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I am just really thankful for what we have built here. And I'm really glad that I've met the people that I have met in my life because of it.
Cannot agree more.
I love that. Yes. That about sums everything up.
Very much so.
And as always, it's time for our community corner.
So on Mondays, we've got our art streams that Chico hosts, as usual. And on Fridays, we have our game streams and game nights, kind of alternating between the two per week.
All right, and as we near to the end of the year, we're running through our list of our volunteer voice actors and writers and artists, and we are always looking for more. So if you want to voice act for us on some of our wonderful commercials, if you want to write some of our fantastic commercials, please head to our Blue Sky and fill out those forms. And most importantly, if you want to create the cover art for an episode and be featured, please fill out the artist interest form, because we could always use more artists to come to for thumbnail art for our episodes. It's kind of what makes the world go round, and we love to feature you guys.
Absolutely. And on that note, I do want to mention as well, please do not forget to hop onto Blue Sky and share some of your favorite recipes with us for Podsgiving.
Yes, please let us know if you host a Podsgiving or if you go to a Podsgiving. We'd love to see pictures of you guys all bring food and recipes and good times.
Please. I love seeing the communitying. Oh shoot. Can't speak, but love you guys. Love seeing you guys together. Cannot wait to hear from you.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning into this month's episode of the Mermaid Podcast.
Tune in next month, where we celebrate the anniversary of the Disney movie that made waves.
As always, don't forget to get on your shell phones and follow us on TikTok and Blue Sky at the Mermaid Podcast. And join our wonderful Discord community. Happy splashing!
We'd like to thank our coffee donors that have made this month's episode possible: Ariadne, Isla, and Elizabeth. If you enjoyed this month's episode and want to hear more from us, consider donating to our coffee, linked in the description. Every amount counts and helps pay for our recording software and maintenance fees. Without our coffee donors, we couldn't do what we do. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
This has been the Mermaid Podcast here on WPOD FM Mermaid Radio. I'm Gary Guppy, and we hope to catch you all next time.